Hello, guys, and welcome to my podcast, The Digital Doll Diaries. Today, I want to talk to you guys about the secrets of OnlyFans. I know to the outside world, it just looks like easy money, luxury cars, and maybe a little bit of online hate, but there's a lot more that goes into it, honestly. I want to talk about the discipline it takes, the confidence it takes, the hate I get, telling my parents, telling my friends and family, and everything about all of the little stuff that nobody ever talks about. So you may think that this doesn't apply to you or this video might not help you at all, but if you've ever been judged by the way you live your life, by the way you look, or by the way you make money, this video is for you. Without further ado, welcome to the Digital Doll Diaries, where we will be talking about OnlyFans, sex, money, manifesting, self-confidence, financials, boundaries, healthy relationships. We will be talking about it all. Honestly, this is the podcast for everything, and I'm so excited to share everything with you guys. Let's talk about how this whole entire experience started. So, first of all, I was 18 when I started OnlyFans. Honestly, don't recommend. I'm not telling anyone to start it when you're 18, okay? I just did, okay? I did. What about it, okay? It worked out for me, and I'm not saying it's gonna work out for everybody. It's not what I'm promoting. I just want to tell you guys my experience. So, I was freshly 18, broke as fuck. I had a car payment that was over $500 because I totaled the car when I was 17. It's my sister's car. Shout out Cassidy. Thank you for that. So sorry about that. I was working 3 jobs. I was a cashier at a dollar store. I was a lab assistant, and I was working at a sale barn, doing auctions and cleaning and stuff. And yeah, girl, I was tired. I was tired. So I definitely have worked before in my life. I know what hard work is. I know what it takes to be successful. So I'm just not fed with a silver spoon. I just started an OF for no reason. Big girl was tired and I wanted to get out of New York State. Okay. Specifically upstate New York. If any of y'all ever been there, it's just farmland, not much to do when it's cold. It's okay. Your girl wanted out. Your girl wanted out. So I also already had a big following on my social media. I had been posting since I was about, I don't even know, 12, 13 years old. In middle school, I started posting. When I got a phone, I was posting on TikTok, I was posting on Instagram, all of it. I was posting. So I would go live stream a lot, and that got me a lot of followers. When I was in high school, I probably had K on TikTok. My superlative was most likely to be famous. Here we are, guys. Here we are. When I did decide that I wanted to make an OnlyFans, there was a lot that I was nervous about. I didn't really post the link anywhere. It's now in my Instagram bio. I did not do that before. I would actually just add everybody back on Snapchat, and then I would post it on a public Snapchat story, and I would just post a link on there. But then my Snapchat got banned. So I was like, oh my God, what am I gonna do now? So that's when I ended up putting it on my Instagram. And that took me a while though, because Instagram, all my family follows. Obviously, if I put it on Instagram, everybody's gonna know. So I need to be sure about this, obviously. Starting out, honestly, I didn't show my face. I didn't really ever tell anybody about it. I was just very shy, very shy. Not really super comfortable yet. I was just doing bare minimum stuff on there. Nothing crazy really. And then I got comfortable, as we all do. And you begin to push the limits. And once the money starts coming in, you begin, oh, well, I already did this. Well, what's a couple more layers off, girl? Oh, I already did this. What's a little further? And the money just keeps coming. Honestly, thinking back, no, actually, I don't have any regrets. If I did anything differently, I wouldn't be exactly where I am today. I wouldn't change anything, but it honestly wasn't always easy, and it wasn't always just fast money. My first month ever, I did pretty well actually. My first month ever, I believe I made about $5,000. And to me, I was already doubling. I was only making about $200 a week at the dollar store, maybe another $100 at the lab, and then the sale barn, it was under the table, maybe $100, maybe not even. So I was not making good money at all. So really in my first month, I was already surpassing what I was making, and I was like, Oh, okay, okay, chill. That being said, though, I did have the following before I started the OnlyFans. So once I did put out the link, it was pretty kind of easy. And honestly, I feel like I don't really want to use the word groomed, but also in a sense, like the internet is crazy for young girls. It is crazy, especially attractive young girls, because we know why. I was getting comments like jailbait, can't wait till she's 18, stuff like that. So I knew I already had an audience. I knew I already had clientele. Like once I made the link, I knew it was going to be easy, low key. Not easy, but I knew it was going to be better off than if I hadn't had the social media, obviously. More of the downsides. Insecurity. Okay. I put myself out on the internet and completely vulnerable. I'm naked, bro. I don't have clothes on. Okay, so how could it get more vulnerable than that? Okay. Obviously, doing that, you're opening up yourself to a lot of judgment, a lot of criticism, and a lot of unwanted opinions. As many of you probably have seen, if you go through really most of my videos, if you go to the comment sections, there are hate comments on almost every single one of my videos. So I had a friend that recently actually tell me that she was thinking about doing OnlyFans, but then she looked through my comments and she was like, I could not do that. I genuinely could not do that and deal with that every day because my self-esteem couldn't do that. And honestly, I remember even just like social media in general before I even started an OnlyFans, social media is rough. It is rough out there because people can hide behind a screen. They can say whatever and there's no consequences. People that are so miserable with their lives, they will project that into your comments. People only comment bad things when they feel threatened or they just I don't know. Honestly, I'm not one to leave hate comments, and I'm glad that I don't understand why someone would do that, honestly. So, that is something you're gonna have to deal with. There are so many people that do not like OnlyFans. Every single OF model I've ever talked to, they have gotten hate. People will say things to you. They will try to belittle you for your job because they think less of you because of it. Used to let that get to me, like, a lot. Like, I would genuinely make videos and be like, "Guys, like, if you actually had a conversation with me, then you would understand that I'm not a terrible person, I'm not a slut, I'm not, like, this bop. Like, I have a personality, I'm kind, I'm a good person." But you wouldn't know that from my little 15-second video of me shaking ass. You begin to also criticize yourself a lot because you're putting yourself out there to be criticized, and all these people will point out when you've gained 10 pounds, when you've lost 10 pounds, when you have acne, just like small stuff you wouldn't even notice or like think twice about until someone brings it to your full attention. I used to get like comments about me being ugly, or me being like a little chunky, or just like being chopped, whatever. Like, people will bring you down in any way that they can, unfortunately. Honestly, it started my villain arc. I started going to the gym. And that's most models do go to the gym because obviously we are the product. We want to look good. We have to look good. Our salaries depend on how good we look. Thankfully, I love the gym. The gym is literally an obsession of mine at this point. It's not even motivation or discipline at this point. I just love going and I love just improving myself every day. And yeah, that kind of probably sounds fake to a lot of you, but yeah, no, I genuinely do. I think that all of those hate comments definitely did fuel that because you just wanna look better when all of your comments are talking about how you've gained weight or really any kind of thing that they can pick apart. I've been in therapy, I go to the gym, I do like a lot of self-care, not because I hate myself or anything like that, quite the opposite. I love myself a lot, so I take care of myself as if I do love myself. It correlates. Another thing that I have struggled with is the judgment. This judgment has come from people that are in my family. I've had family members post like on Facebook hate towards OnlyFans and stuff like that. Everybody knows that I have one, so it's like obviously it's targeted. Obviously it's targeted. I don't really let that stuff bother me anymore. I used to. I used to be so upset. Honestly, when someone had a negative view on me because of my job, it would make me really upset because I know I'm a good person, and I know that my job is not completely who I am as a person. It has definitely shaped me for sure, but it's not my personality. You know what I mean? Like most people's jobs is not just who they are. I used to be a lab assistant. I was a lab assistant for 4 years. I started when I was 16, and I finally stopped working there when I was 20. And I stopped working there because when I was 20, I was coming back from college and I was doing OnlyFans at the time. And one of my coworkers had said something about it. She was like, "You have an OnlyFans?" Yes, yes, I do actually. Yes, I do. And like, of course, I had like these work moms that are like much older than me, like in their 40s or so. And they're very wise, great women. I love them all so bad. But to them, I was still the 16-year-old that started working there. I understand. I totally understand. I got a little bit of judgment and backlash for that. It wasn't anything crazy. They didn't say anything nasty to me or anything like that. They definitely advised against it. They were not pro OnlyFans or anything like that, which totally understandable. I get it. I obviously just don't want to hear. Nobody wants to be told that someone else disapproves of their actions. I ended up stop working there. I also just like at that point I had been doing OnlyFans for about 3 years and I was able to make that my full-time job. I did work for the first 2.5 years, and then I finally was able to completely quit all my other jobs and just completely rely on OnlyFans. I was definitely scared, low key, but I was confident that I was going to continue to grow, and I have. And that's from consistency. I post on Instagram probably 300 times a month. I post 3 to 5 times a day on basically all of my social medias. It's a lot. It's low key a lot, and I understand that. Yeah, it's just a TikTok. It's not a lot of effort to just make a little TikTok, but it is kind of a lot of effort to think of a bunch of different ideas, especially if you're posting 3 to 5 times a day. That is 3 to 5 different angles, videos that you have to do. You have to record. It's a lot of commitment. Going into relationships around OnlyFans, I get a lot of the questions about like how dating is for me, having an OnlyFans. And I will honestly say that I have been turned down because of my job one time. One time ever actually, and he was a terrible man anyway. I definitely dodged a bullet anyways, so it was okay. I always tell them on the first date. I always tell them I'm not ashamed of my job or anything like that. Well, I always tell anybody that asks what I do for a living, I tell them OnlyFans. I don't censor anything. I just tell them straight. And then if they have any questions about it, I love answering questions. I love being so open and honest about everything. And because I think that's very important in a relationship. And you cannot be with a girl who has an OnlyFans and not have these conversations about what she posts, the boundaries you have with her OnlyFans, and like the boundaries you have in your relationship and everything. It's a lot that goes into it. And with relationships, it's a lot of reassurance, it's a lot of loyalty. This is a controversial one because a lot of people will say that I'm not a loyal person because I have an OnlyFans. But if I fuck with a guy, he is the only guy that I am following on Instagram, the only guy on my Snapchat, the only guy in all of my following on any of my social medias. I go through my camera roll. You will never see another man in my camera roll. You will never see another man in my contacts. You will look at my phone and you will not know that other men exist. Okay. Obviously, they have to be okay with me having an OnlyFans. Okay. If you're not okay with me having an OnlyFans, then it's obviously cut right there. So, going off that point of posting and what I post and everything, I post everything. I've done it all from tapes, literally everything actually. And it wasn't always like that. Like I had talked about in the beginning, I had started out really small. The more money people offer you, the more you're willing to try. Honestly, I have an interesting way of thinking about it because for me, I almost like disassociate from it in a way, I guess. Not like a bad way. Like to me, I'm on the internet, okay? That's the online world. That doesn't even exist, okay? You can't like out of sight, out of mind kind of thing. Honestly, like if I don't see it every day, I'm not worried about it. Like I'm not looking up my own leaks and stuff like that. Hell no, I'm protecting my peace. I'm protecting my peace. And I've never had someone like send me my own like leaks or anything like that, anything crazy. I have, in fact, had other people send stuff to my family members. I had one girl actually screenshot my OnlyFans and send it to my aunt, and she said, "Tell your daughter to stop being a whore for money." And also, it is my photographer aunt who has taken a bunch of my photos, so not the one to message, honestly. But talking about, like, my family, wanna just go back on that part. I do wanna preface that most of my family is very supportive of me and everything that I do, and they love me very much. I'm so, so, so grateful for that, and I'm so lucky because I know that that's not the case for many people, and a lot of girls actually just never tell their family until their family just finds out one day. And honestly, I did that low key. I did not tell my family found out, and my family just never brought it up to me. My dad found out from other people telling him, and he had never talked to me about it. We just both knew. I've never to this day, I've been doing it for 4 years, and I've never had a conversation about my job with my dad because why would I, bro? Like, what do we gotta talk about? Like, what are we gonna talk about with that? Nobody cares. Nobody cares. They're like, "Okay, girl, living your life. I ain't gotta pay your bills for you." I've been paying my own bills literally since I was like 14. As soon as I could get a job, I was paying all my own stuff. I was buying my own school supplies. I was buying my own groceries, my own phone bill, my own car insurance. I was paying for everything on my own. And I knew college was gonna be on me too, obviously. So that was, as I was talked about earlier, that was a contribution to why I started. But going off track, back to the posting. I just found out when Sophie Rain was popping off and everything, I found out a lot of these models weren't even doing nude. I was like, "Bro, I didn't even know that was an option." Actually, maybe I should have started with that. Maybe I should have started with that. It's a little late now. It's a little late now because my digital footprint is already fucked. But I definitely had like a moment of insecurity because I had gone to a content house and I had met other girls. I'd asked like what kind of content they post and everything. Both of the girls I had met, they said that, like, they didn't do nude or anything like that, and I was like, "What?" Which I didn't even wanna know how much they were making because if they were making more than me and not, like, showing as much as me, I was gonna be upset, so I was like, "Out of sight, out of mind, bro. I don't need to know. We're already here, we're already cooked, so it's chill. It's chill, honestly." So that was, like, a big thing for me. That will be my tip, honestly. If you ever do start an OnlyFans, try non-nude, doing, like, lingerie, bikini stuff, and see how you do and how well you do with that first before you go all in like me, guys, okay? Learn from my mistakes, okay? And honestly, and then if you wanna go more, make more bad girl, I am not gonna judge you, girl. I'm not gonna judge you at all. Go for it, girl. Get your bag. Now, honestly, at this point, you guys might be like, how did you not quit with all of that? Because a lot of people don't have thick skin. Honestly, a lot of people get one hate comment and they're like, yeah, I'm never actually posting again because like people hate me and nobody wants to see me and my videos suck. And like a lot of people let that all just get to their head, which is really upsetting because if you are only not doing something because of someone else's opinion, you are quite literally living for someone else. Would not recommend that at all ever. I am gonna give you guys some solutions to these problems. And this is not even just like if you wanna start an OnlyFans and how to deal with all this, just if you wanna start posting on social media. So, number one, confidence. This next part is going to be for anybody that wants to be a content creator, whether it is OnlyFans or just on social media in general. We have to talk about confidence. Okay, confidence is built. It's not just given. Confidence is built through action as well. Posting, and actually just putting yourself out there, just doing the damn thing, honestly, will give you so much confidence. Once you start literally as simple as, like, recording in public, once you realize that genuinely nobody gives a fuck, it's so much easier. I think most people's root of insecurity is they overestimate how much other people actually give a fuck about them. And I am here to tell you that nobody does. And not in, like, a terrible way, in, like, a good way. Like, genuinely, everybody is worried about themselves, honestly. Like, when is the last time that you were ever thinking about a problem somebody else had? And if you did, you probably didn't dwindle on it very long. Or you think about really anybody. And honestly, if you think about other people all the time, yeah, you need to do some reflecting. Yeah, because why are you not focused on your own life? That's probably why your life sucks. So, yeah, evaluate yourself, please. That being said, you need to evaluate your haters, okay? One day you're gonna get your first hate comment, okay? That is inevitable as a content creator of any kind of content. Hate comments are inevitable. People hate to see other people being confident and putting themselves out there because they wouldn't be able to do the same. They would never do the same. They would never do anything that someone could possibly judge them for. If I ever get a hate comment that actually genuinely ooh, like hits a little bit, I go to their profile, okay? Call me shallow. I literally don't care, okay? This person just shit on me. So they just subjected themselves for analyzing, really. I will just literally just look at their profile picture, okay? First of all, if it's not even a picture of them, yeah, they're probably chopped. Why do you think they're not using a photo of themselves? Why do you think they have no posts? Probably because they're chopped. Second of all, would you leave a hate comment? Is it a negative thing that they said? People look like the energy that they give. If someone is commenting something that is completely nasty and uncalled for, really, they hate themselves probably. 9 times out of 10, they already hate themselves. Don't give them your energy. That's all they're looking for. They are looking for an energy exchange. That's all they want. They're giving you their negative energy. They want just a little slice of your attention, of your energy, just to know that they had some kind of effect on you, okay? They took the time out of their day to leave that comment because they want a reaction. Don't give them a reaction, okay? The second that you reply, you're giving all the power to them. You're telling them, I am bothered. You have succeeded in bothering me. Even if it's something that you're like, ooh, you ate them up back, you're still giving them a reaction. You're still giving them your energy. Why? You have beautiful energy. Don't give it to them, okay? They don't deserve your energy. They don't. Haters are always chopped, broke, fat. Like, they're never doing better than you. Nobody doing better than you is ever going to hate on you. Let that sink in. No one doing better than you is going to hate on you because anyone that is doing better than you had to start from somewhere. They probably have been in your position. They probably have been on your level and then they surpassed it and they know what it's like to be on your level. And now they know what it's like to be on their level and they know that you hopefully will also be getting on their level at some point. So it's just a matter of time. So no person above you is ever going to shit on you. The only kind of people that will ever give you any kind of hate are people below you. Remember that. Please remember that. Another way to be successful as a content creator of any kind of content is to be consistent. Treat this like a business. You need to show up. If you opened a coffee shop and you only showed up 2 days out of the week and you're wondering why you're going bankrupt, yeah, maybe because you're not selling any coffees. You need to be posting on social media every single day. Every single day. I mean that, yes. Maybe you don't have to go to the extent of 3 to 5 times a day for me. That was the most effective. I've seen the most growth. I was celebrating 100,000 followers on Instagram in September. I started posting 3 to 5 times a day since then, and I am about 8,000 followers on Instagram, and it is March 24th. So less than a year and over 150,000 followers I've gained from posting 3 to 5 times a day. Honestly, I believe it is quantity over quality. I will go and work out, and then I'll take like 10 TikToks, just me flexing after the gym, different angles, different poses. It took me like 20 minutes, okay? Maybe I won't post all of them at the same time. Maybe I'll save them and then I can post different outfits every day, different times. Recording 10 videos, I don't have to make more if I don't want to tomorrow because that's 10 videos. That's 2 days of posting 5 times a day. So just make sure you're making a lot of content when you are making content. So then it's not like you have to just keep doing it and you're not just having to make a new video every single time that you're going on the app and every time you want to post. You should have that content already ready because that is going to limit your burnout a lot, a lot. Because if you're trying to post every day and make new videos every day and you're trying to have some kind of like creative kind of content or, just like not very easy stuff to think about, you're going to get burned out. You're going to stop posting. and then you're not gonna wanna post, and you're not gonna go back to it for a hot minute. So try to do mass recordings and stuff. And honestly, like, if you're, like, just trying to be, like, a fitness creator or any kinda, like, content creator, I also would recommend taking long videos. I'll do a long video of me just at the beach or whatever. A lot of my videos are very easy because it's just me being hot, honestly. So I'll take a 3-minute video of me flexing at the gym or like 3 minutes of me just doing different exercises. That is a lot of content. For me, at least, the best durations is 4 to 7 seconds. There is a lot of seconds in 3 minutes. Okay. That is a lot of videos that I can cut up, and that's all you need. Literally just a little different. Maybe put a different sound on it. Good. Perfect. You have that. And that'll be what I post for the next week or so. Just from that one video. I have so many videos just of those little clips. And the little clips do better than like longer clips. I realized that 4 to 7 seconds is way better than anything 15 seconds and above because our attention spans are cooked. You want to keep the viewer's attention for as long as you can. And if it's the whole duration of your video, 7 seconds, they're much more likely to watch that whole entire 7 seconds than they are if your video was 15 seconds, obviously. So just something to think about and something to remember when you are creating. All of the work you're doing for your business, you also need to prioritize self care. As a content creator, our work is 24/7 our life. I am always working. I'm always thinking about different content that I can make all day, or I'm literally recording through my whole entire day because a lot of my fans want to know my day to day, what I'm doing. Like most people, when they find a celebrity, they love when they post a lot. They love being able to know what they ate for breakfast, all the way down to what time they took a shit this morning. Like, you know what I mean? They want to know everything. So posting more is more beneficial for your audience and just overall growth. So self-care is so important. Do self-care that you're not recording. Do self-care that you're not making content out of. Journaling. Journaling is so, oh my gosh, I could preach about journaling for literally ever. Journaling is so good. It's just like putting out all of your emotions on a paper and actually being able to process it as you're writing. Write about your day. Honestly, things may come up that you like didn't even think about or didn't even process earlier that day. You're writing about an argument that you had or something, and you're just writing out exactly what had happened. Obviously, when things are in the heat of the moment, they can be perceived differently than when you just write it out exactly what had happened. So you'd be like, oh, wait, genuinely, this person doesn't give a fuck about me. Or like, wait, actually, they did just plainly disrespect me, and their excuse was just manipulation because they did the same shit last week. You know what I mean? Like putting it onto paper and reading it back to yourself, you're like, wait a minute, this might not be normal, actually. But also, putting it on paper, you might realize that you have a lot to be grateful for. I will go on like a whole kick and I'll be writing about how good my life is that day. And I will end my journaling and I feel so much better and so grateful. And I'm just thinking about all of the good stuff in my life. I'm getting off topic, but a couple of other things I like to do for self-care is affirmations and manifestations. I like to go to the gym. The gym is a really, really big one, especially if you are on social media and you are a content creator. You're going to be benefited in any way at all possible if you're more attractive. Put two people together side by side, and if you had to choose one, you're going to choose the more attractive one. Everybody who doesn't love an attractive person, okay? Everybody loves an attractive person. Just go to the gym, bruh. It'll improve your life in literally every single way possible, and it's gonna improve your audience. More people are gonna be wanting to see you because you're attractive, obviously. They're gonna care more about what you think. It's called the halo effect. This is literally a psychological fact. When someone is attractive, we put in the halo effect, which we believe that everything else about that person is perfect because they are attractive. You believe that they're a kinder person, you believe that they're honest, like all of the good qualities you begin to associate with that person. If someone looks like shit, you're probably like, oh, you probably smell bad, you're probably lazy, you probably don't take care of yourself. The opposite of the halo effect, you know what I mean? It very much shows how much you love yourself with your appearance. If someone said, I can tell how much you love yourself by the way you look, would you be offended or would you feel like that was a compliment? Think about that for a second. To wrap all of this up, I do want to tell you guys if whether you're thinking of starting an OnlyFans or you're thinking about just becoming a content creator and you want to build your confidence, this podcast is going to be for you. If you're just honestly trying to improve your life in any kind of way at all, this podcast will be for you. I just want to thank you guys so much for watching this video and listening to me yap. And I really hope that you guys come back for my next episode. Please go ahead and like and subscribe and leave in the comments what you would like future podcast episodes to be about. What would you like to hear from me? And I really just love you guys so much. And thank you so much for being here. Bye.